I'm not going to lie. This really, really annoyed me. This really annoyed me yesterday. From, we have got Elle Duncan, Chinea Nwumeke, and Andrea Carter. Whatever about Elle Duncan, we know Elle Duncan is the most fake fan ever. Like, she stopped talking about the WNBA when Caitlin Clark went down. We know she was the most fake fan ever. Like, I gotta say, I'm disappointed in Chinea Nwumeke. Chinea Nwumeke was a fucking player. She was good. And whatever I want to say about this, she's actually a pretty good analyst. But she is absolutely she's absolutely somebody that will take the anti-fever narrative and everything. Because, and this is crazy, because Chinea Nwumeke was a number one pick. She works in the NBA. She would have a job anyway. She would have a job anyway. Whatever about some of the people that only got their jobs in the WNBA or covering the WNBA because 5 years ago no one wanted to cover it and you were there, but you got your job by default. Chinea Nwumeke is not one of those people. Andrea Carter is not one of those people. Heck, even to an extent, like even Elle Duncan's not one of those people. Why is it that you have to go just so so anti-fever? Because this is just you're not factually incorrect, but you're skewing the narrative massively.
Foul discrepancy was interesting. Full disclosure, it was a topic of conversation on this desk as well. Your reaction?
Well, it is interesting. And my favorite thing about a series, you can start to see trends, right? And if you were looking at the games earlier in this series, the free throw attempts, the discrepancy was 5, it was 6, it was 4. Those were the first 3 games.
I mean, like, if you watched the game yesterday, the free throw discrepancy, half of the Indiana's Fever's free throws were, I kid you not, defensive 3 seconds because they were double teaming Aliyah Boston weak side. So defensive 3 seconds, we got, I think, 4 of them in the game. And late game free throws. That was half of the Fever's free throws. Yes, there was a free throw discrepancy, but it was like 9. If you discount late game free throws, like late game intentional fouls and defensive 3 seconds based on fouls, the discrepancy in free throws is 9, which is fair considering Indy went to the basket more. They went to the basket more. Like, the Aces went for pull-ups. They went for pull-ups.
This game tonight, it was 23. The free throw attempt discrepancy was 23.
Yeah, because of intentional fouls.
Indiana shot 23 more free throws than the Aces. And when you talk about a favorable whistle, that play that we just showed, to me, it looked like Aliyah clamped first.
Great, you got one call that went the wrong way. Okay, let's look at the many calls that went the other way. Let's look at the freaking out of bounds play that didn't hit Lexi Hull's hands and then got they kept the ball because there wasn't conclusive evidence that it didn't hit Lexi Hull's hands. Even though it didn't hit Lexi Hull's hands, it was clear the ball didn't hit Lexi Hull's hand. Like, the referees absolutely favored the Fever in this game. Like, they favored the way the Fever were playing. The way they called the game favored the Fever. Absolutely. But the Vegas Aces have literally gotten the benefit of the whistle for years. But not one word about the Aces. Not one word about the Aces negatively. Not one word negatively about that team, about them having a favorable whistle. Even in game 1, when Angel Wilson was doing her best job of being a block or being a freaking whatever position Michael Orr is, protecting the quarterback, when she was just running around shoving people on the ground. And not one of them was called. Not one of them was called. So God forbid the Fever have a favorable whistle once at home. God forbid they have a favorable whistle. No, and it's not even nearly as favorable. But no, they have a favorable whistle once, so that's the thing. So it's now a thing where the Aces have to have the favorable whistle. When the Aces have the favorable whistle, it's fine. When the Fever have a favorable whistle, it is a huge conspiracy, and the refs won them the game. Well, what did the refs win 80% of games for the Aces then? At least be equal. At least be equal. And that's the thing. Genuinely, we can admit that the Fever had a favorable whistle, especially, and I don't think it was a favorable whistle in the way, the game, the way the game is being rigged or anything. I think the referees did not want this game to get out of hand, so they reffed the game very, very tight on off-ball fouls. And the Indiana Fever, especially Aliyah Boston, throws her body into players. She throws her body into players, making it tough to call. And yes, a lot of those fouls could have been called offensive fouls. But you literally pick one and you're like, oh, Aliyah fouled. Yeah, probably should have been an offensive foul. It doesn't change the fucking game. That doesn't change the game.
And then Asia responded to that, but the initial foul to me was on Aliyah.
Yeah, the irony is that Aliyah Boston actually shot more free throws than the entire Aces squad.
How many times has the Asia Wilson shot more free throws than the other team? How many times? It happens a lot. A lot.
And mind you, respectfully, Aliyah commits the most fouls in the WNBA.
Because she has the worst whistle in the WNBA. You're like, oh yeah, respectfully, she commits the most fouls in the WNBA. Yes, because she has the worst whistle. We know that. We know that. Everybody knows how bad, how bad Aliyah Boston's whistle is. So God forbid she gets the benefit of the whistle once. And now it's, she actually just fouls a lot. We all know, in fairness, we know those elbows are the elbows. The worst part about Aliyah is, if she got called for the elbows, it would be one thing. She just gets phantom fouls. Like, they don't even call the elbows, but they'll call the phantom foul.
And the second most offensive fouls.
However, the foul discrepancy is not the only reason that they lost.
Don't let this overshadow the fact that Indiana's backcourt was phenomenal.
Don't let this overshadow. They won because of Aliyah Boston. They won because of Aliyah Boston. They won because of Aliyah Boston. They did not, their backcourt. Kelsey Mitchell was really good early in the game. And Kelsey Mitchell hit that crazy and one. But Aliyah was the reason they won that game. We can be honest. Aliyah hit a lot of the big baskets. Aliyah's back down, some of the stuff she did with her back down was incredible. Aliyah was the player who stopped the runs. Odyssey Sims played 5 really good minutes. And, she played 5 really good minutes. And in the rest of the game, she was the worst player on the floor. But those 5 really good minutes were 5 key minutes, and we don't win without them. That's not me trying to say Odyssey Sims was not a huge contributor in us winning. But, there would be 3 consecutive possessions in a row where Odyssey Sims would make 3 consecutive mistakes. And I'm like, we have to take that into account. That has to be taken into account. They won because of Aliyah.
Kelsey Mitchell was special, athletic, bouncy, tough shot making, 25 points, and just unfazed, unbothered. Look at these buckets. They were all in single or double coverage. And don't sleep also on their separator. Odyssey Sims, she was plus 17 and plus minus. 18 points, made big baskets in transition. The backcourt is the reason why they won the game.
Aliyah was the reason why they won the game. They're trying to say Aliyah did nothing, but it was only the refs. What's the hate for Aliyah? Because Aliyah was meant to be, anti-Caitlyn. She was meant to be, South Carolina. Oh, we're against Caitlyn. She was meant to hate Caitlyn, and you know what? Her and Caitlyn are friends. Is that the problem people have with Aliyah? Is that the problem they have with Aliyah? Because they've got no problem. Because none of these people have any problem. And if it is Aliyah Boston fouls a little bit with her elbows, cool. They've no problem with Alyssa Thomas playing rugby out there. They've no problem with Alyssa Thomas playing rugby. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'll see you guys.